If you happen to be living on Campo Beach in Westport, Connecticut on the afternoon of April 25th, 1777, you would have been amazed to see an entire armada of British ships arriving offshore. They were there to invade Connecticut. The ships carried thousands of soldiers who set off on this road. There's a lot more foliage around today than there was in that time, but their destination was the town of Danbury. Then, it was a simple farming village, but it had been chosen for something important. It was a huge supply depot loaded with stores of all kinds desperately needed by the Americans, and the enemy was marching there to destroy it. But now, I'd like you to meet Sybil Ludington. You'll find her here, right in the center of town. No need to hurry, she's here every day. She was Connecticut's version of Paul Revere during the American Revolution. She had a horse named Star, and 16-year-old Sybil rode her horse through the night for some 40 miles, alerting the countryside to the attack on Danbury. Today she occupies a place of honor right in the center of town, and folks in Danbury will proudly tell you that she rode twice as far as Paul Revere. Sybil Ludington was the eldest of 12 children. They had families in those days, and her father was the commander of the area militia. On the night of April 26, 1777, the Ludington family was getting ready for bed when a message came that several thousand troops had attacked Danbury. Colonel Ludington had to stay to supervise the mustering the troops, so young Sybil took it upon herself to ride through the night in pouring rain to alert the countryside. A proper young lady of that era, she rode side saddle all the way. Members of the local militia, farm boys, everyone in the area heard her shout, "They're burning Danbury!" When Sybil returned home the next morning, soaked from the rain and exhausted, the American soldiers had assembled and they began the march to the Battle of Ridgefield. During the battle, the enemy fired their artillery right down Ridgefield's main street. One of their targets was the Keeler Tavern, because they believed it was being used by the Patriots to make bullets. A cannonball struck the tavern, where it remains to this day. Well, as things turned out, the stores at Danbury could not be saved, but the American militia could and did make things difficult for the redcoats who were attempting to get to their ships at Westport. For the enemy, the march back to Campo Beach was a nightmare. They had hundreds of casualties. For the rest of the Revolutionary War, they would attempt only coastal attacks. Never again would they attempt an inland operation in Connecticut. Sybil Ludington was later congratulated by just about everyone, including George Washington, and much later she was put on a stamp. Back in the days when you could mail a letter for 8 cents, Sybil Ludington, a name to remember.